Hello, hello. Happy Christmas. It is the 25th of December. I hope you all have a wonderful, peaceful day, whatever you are doing and however you are celebrating today. However, if you are here for a little bit of December daily, this is the freebie for today. It is on the website. I'm going to put instructions in the description box how to get your freebie. If you have any issues, I'm really sorry. I probably won't be answering emails or messages today, but I'll try and put as much as I can in the description box. Now, I made a little bit of an error. This is the full size. You can see mine is a little bit smaller because I didn't do it quite right when I used my Cricut to cut it out. It's not too complicated to cut out. There's not a lot of like wavy lines. There's a few, but not too many. I hope this is okay. And you can still see what I'm doing. So the freebie, this is a double-sided tag. I've just backed it ready so we can crack on because I know everyone's going to have other things to do today. Now, the first bits I'm going to use are these three little pieces here. And I'm going to give these an ink just around the edge, just so they're not so white. Now, you could back these completely if you wanted to make them a little bit more sturdy. I'm not going to do that because I think it's going to be okay with what I'm going to do. I got the idea for this freebie from my make for the Rach and Bella collaboration. So I'm going to do something kind of along those lines, but just a single tag. So I've got some cardboard, my good old trusty cardboard. I'm going to cut a straight line, get rid of that. I'm just going to trim the not so straight edges off. Okay. So the first piece is the piece with the wider bottom. So I need to take that, and what I'm going to do is line this up. I'm going to have to do a little bit of cutting out, but basically it's only going to be these top little pieces that are going to show. So I'm going to turn this over and glue it. I'm going to line it up on my cardboard. I don't want the cardboard to peek out over the top of those little gifts. That is the one thing we do need to avoid. So I'm going to take my ruler. Let's move those aside for a moment. Take my craft knife. I'm just needed a little cutting mat there. Forgot about that. Just trim there. I mean, you could certainly do this with scissors. You don't have to use a knife. In actual fact, I'm going to grab my scissors for this little awkward bit here. And I'm going to cut here with my scissors as well, actually. Depending on the thickness of your cardboard, you should be okay using scissors. So if you want, you can now go round the edge of this with your ink. So that's that piece done. I'm now going to do the same again with the next piece. And again, this has just got a little bit less of a border. And I'm going to line that up again so the top of the presents are not showing. Kind of line up along here, just so I've only got straight edges to cut, because what we don't want to do is have to cut out complicated shapes on our cardboard. Put that in place. I'm going to try with my scissors. Perfect. And then I've just got a smaller pair. Just trim off the little pieces. And then again, I'm just going to ink the edge And then the last one, the smallest one, which is just the little row of gifts, I'm going to do exactly the same. So we have our 3 little pieces of little gifts, and they will line up on each other, and we can see we've got quite a bit of dimension there. You can add more dimension if you like, you know, that's a possibility. You can certainly add a little bit more. The next thing I'm going to do is just grab my tree and give that an ink. Right, so that's our little tree. So that's going to go on the tag. And then these will go on the top like that. So our tree will peek out. I'm just going to bring the camera down a little bit. So we have something like this. Now, if you didn't want to cut the Christmas tree out, you could always use the pre-printed one, or you could use this, and you could line your tags up, your Christmas gifts up on that tree. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to use this one, I think, but you've got a little choice if you want. We're going to make a second tag today as well, so we can do that. Now I'm going to just guesstimate. I've got about 1 centimetre here. I'm going to glue my tree down. So just going to estimate that centimetre roughly and put that into place. All right, now I've got 3 layers of presents. I've got a little cat, got a little mouse, and I've got a little squirrel. So the cat is going to sit just behind those presents. I'm just going to line them up, make sure it's all going to work nicely. And put my little second row of presents here. And I think the squirrel will go there. And then we've got our little row of presents here. And we're going to put the little mouse about there. So it's going to look something like that. So let's move these pieces out of the way. What I'm going to do for my cat is just put a little bit of glue at the back of the kitten. Just hold that roughly in place, and I'm going to pop the little cat there. Push him down. I'm going to ink my little squirrel while I'm at it. Get rid of that white, and I'm going to do the same for the mouse. And these little makeup brushes, Corey sent me these because they are perfect for tiny little things. So these little applicator brushes are brilliant for this kind of thing. Right, so my cat is in place. I'm now going to put the next row of gifts down, line the second one up, and just have a little look where the little squirrel is going to go. So again, I'm going to add some glue to the back of my little squirrel. Just and then glue him down. You could add more dimension if you wanted to. I'm just going to add them to my gifts. And the reason, they're optional. Not everyone's going to want little critters sticking out of their Christmas gifts, so that's entirely up to you if you use these or not. I'm not happy still with my little kitten. I'm going to go around. There we go, that's a bit better. A little bit of glue to the back of Mr. Mouse. Hold these roughly in place and pop him there. Right, so these can all be glued. If you wanted to, you could bring them out even more and put a second mount behind. I'm going to glue them as they are. And if you wanted to, you could just stand it up and make sure you've lined that up at the bottom. And the second layer. And then my third layer. So we've got some dimension there. Hope you can see the lighting is not great. Little layers of gifts. I have got a little star. Just ink the sides of my star. Pop him down. Okay, that's very, very plain. Very, very simple. Right, so I'm going to take my number 25, give this an ink. Got my crocodile, and in the bottom of my crocodile, I'm going to put, in the bottom of my number 25, I'm going to add a little hole very close to the edge. I'm going to grab a small eyelet and pop that into my hole, hoping I'm not going to break that because I have gone very close to the edge. Just about makes that. I'm just going to switch my crocodile so I can set this. Grab my little pliers. I've already got a jump ring in here. I'm going to turn that. Ooh. Close my jump ring like that. I'm going to cut off a little piece of cardboard, and I just want it to fit at the top. Just cut off anything if it's too big. You just want it to fit at the top there. On the back, add a bit of glue. Add that to the top. Just hold that in place for a moment. And then I'm going to decide whether I want it this side or that side. I think I'm going to put it this side. It's a little bit busier over there. Now, obviously, yours would probably be bigger. It will probably be the right size. I want to add a small amount of glitter to mine. Now, I bought this. I'll pop a link down below to her Instagram, but she has been using this. It's actually a face glitter, but it's very, very pretty. Now, be warned, if you do ever use this glitter, the container is absolutely pants. It's absolutely no good whatsoever. But I'm going to put a couple of little dots here and there, like so. I'm just going to grab the back of this. It is terrible. It's so difficult to use. And I'm just going to put some glitter down to give it some Christmas sparkle. I mean, it's sticking to everything. Just going to pat that a little bit. Lots of additional sticky bits. We do have a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of bling, which I like. And we'll put that aside. Right, so that is the first tag. We have this, and we have this, and we can still pop our, I don't like those, I'm just going to cut my ribbon. There we go. I didn't like the white, and in this bit I'm going to just ink and ink, and I'm going to ink the edge. I'm going to back my base tag. I'm going to cut this out. And just glue this side down. Okay, so we have that. I did ink this, but didn't do a very good job of it. So you could just pop the tree with the gifts on. I'm going to use the gifts, and I'm going to I'm going to turn this, I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to use my pencil, and I'm just going to mark on the inside roughly where this is going to sit, because I want to have this mounted, but I don't want it to be. So I've got a rough shape here. I'm going to cut it out and see if any of this overhangs. I'm not worried about perfection. You're not going to see it. Let's see how that sits. Is that the wrong way round? Okay, I'm just going to take this little corner off here. That's not bad. We've not got any real overhang. There's nothing you're going to be able to see. So I'm going to glue this. There we go. So that can sit on here. I'm going to ink my little creatures. So what I'm going to do is remove this, put a little bit of glue around the bottom of my kitty cat. Just pop that there. Same on here. I'm going to have him popping out a little bit lower down. There. A little bit of glue along the bottom of the mouse. And I'm going to have him peeking out the top. Like that. Now you can see the mouse is actually on the top of the gifts, where the other pieces are on the cardstock. So I'm going to glue. I'm going to use the open the 25th of December, I think, for this. I'm loving this one. I'm loving it. Had a bit of an accident. Oops. Okay, so I've got some of my fibres that came from Taperology, and if you like Taperology, I'll pop the links down below. I'm going to trim off some blue, and I want some of this gorgeous eyelash trim. Okay, got some of that. Pop that on there, and I think I'm going to have a little piece of this ivory too. Leave that one out for a moment. So this is going to be, I think I'm going to use my slot punch for the top of this, because it's got quite a bit I want to get through there. So I'm going to pop that out, poke that through the little letterbox style hole. So I'm going to have that. I'm going to put this here. So I've just got a little crossover here. I'm going to tie this. I'll put that in a double knot, I think. And then this, I'm going to tie. Just trim a little bit off that. So we've got quite a fluffy thing going on at the top of that tag. But I love it. I love it. I love all these fibres. They're just so tactile. It just saved us putting everything through that little slot. Just tie those up like that, and that's a little bit long. There we go. Now I think I am actually still going to add a little bit of that bling. I know it's a pain, I know it is, but probably should have done this before well, no, maybe not. Let's add, try and keep the fibres away from the glue. Put a little bit here, a little bit there. Right, again, I'm going to just push that down a little bit so it kind of grabs. Right, so they are my day 25, Christmas Day 2023, December daily advents. So I've got the two options. I love them. I do. I really do love them. I hope you like them too. There are, like I said, there are several ways you could put these together, especially having the tags. And I'm sorry my original one actually ended up being so small. Please have a fantastic day, whatever you are doing, whether you are spending it with friends, family, or whether you are crafting. I am wishing you the very best Christmas and a peaceful 2024. Take care. Goodbye.